How's it going, everyone? Brian Hoops here, Midwest Market Solutions, Market Insider TV closing market commentary, Wednesday, November the 8th. Let's look at cattle here. That's where most of the action is so far this week anyway. Grains could get a little more exciting tomorrow. We are almost into this gap area that we've identified. Remember on the reversal day last week, November the 2nd, we had one. We talked about where the market's likely to come down to. We think that's coming to this 121.70 area. There's a gap there. We entered into the gap and closed above it. Maybe that's enough for now. We haven't completely filled it. I thought we'd come down at least to this 121.70 area before we see some sort of a bounce, but we're seeing some long liquidation as these two blue bars here, we can magnify it, show the period of technical weakness here. And that is an indication that funds need to liquidate some long positions, and that's what they're doing. Cash cattle trade starting to develop today, down $1 from last week at 124. Dress trade 192 to 194, mostly steady. And the Fed online auction held today saw 4 lots sold and about 465 head sold, so that's about 39% of the show list, and average price was 124. This cattle market here feels like it may want to try and bounce after we get down in this area because we've had some cash trade. Could see a little hedge lifting. Here in the feeder cattle market, we're right down into a support area as well. Extend this support line. We came and bounced down to it. So another reason to think we may have some sort of a bounce after a sharp loss again today. Hog market, we've been down every day of the month of November. This last up day here was October 31, and ever since then, down, down, down. Hog weight's up today, 284.2 pounds. That's up 1.2 pounds from a week ago, and we're nearly 3.5 above a year ago levels. So that is a little negative as well for this market, and certainly hogs are pulling back. We're going to target this area here. I think this is a key technical support area to watch. Right at this area below 62.95. I think we come down, test that, may see some sort of a bounce or technical recovery from there. Grains today, very quiet, which you'd expect. We'll expect quiet tonight and tomorrow as we go into the supply and demand report. Speaking of that report, it'll be a busy day. We'll have comments right after the report comes out, and then on in the 11:45, I'll do the conference call for the Minneapolis Grain Exchange. Then tomorrow night, 8 o'clock Central Time, our monthly webinar will be held. Corn looks to hold this support at 344. We may dip below it, but notice we haven't closed below it. Our lowest close actually back here in August 30th at 345. That's our lowest close. Here we had a close of 344.25, so I guess we did have a close there in October, but nothing below 344.25. You don't want to close below this area. I think if we do, it's going to look bearish on the charts. Let's look at wheat chart here. We're closing below this support area here in wheat, and that sets us up for additional downside pressure. So I really think we've got to hold that support in the corn. This is Kansas City wheat, same thing. We closed below it here and new contract lows. We did have a little bit of recovery today, but most of the strength is coming in Minneapolis. You can see here we're starting to move higher, breaking some of this downtrend in the Minneapolis wheat. Highest levels since all the way back to September 29th. Reason being high protein milling wheat trading at a 2.5-month high. So cash strength has given us the rally in the wheat market. If you have high protein milling wheat, you're going to have some opportunities to make some sales. We're targeting back up into this near $7 mark to go ahead and start unloading some of our inventory there in this spring milling wheat. So I think that's the contract to own, this Minneapolis milling wheat. If you have high protein, that definitely makes the contract to own. Egypt bought 120,000 Russian wheat. Other news, pretty quiet. We're going to wait for tomorrow before making any major moves. Have a great night, everybody. Give us a call if you have any questions. Brian Hoops for Midwest.